The international service of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, through its transcription facilities, presents Jazz from Canada. Today's edition, the Oscar Peterson Trio. Oscar, the downbeat for My Heart Stood Still. Well, hi there, I'm Bert Adkins, and the tune you just heard was My Heart Stood Still, played by Canada's Oscar Peterson at the piano with Ray Brown on string bass and Ed Thigpen on drums. Oscar was born in Montreal in August of 1925. At the age of 5, he was playing the trumpet, even though the rest of the Peterson family were pianists. Tuberculosis struck him when he was 7, and when he had recovered, doctors forbade him to resume playing the trumpet, so he switched to the piano, a stroke of good fortune for the jazz world, as it turned out. Well, the game of football is a sport enjoying wide popularity in Canada, and it's in honor of Sam Scotia, one of the men who play it, that pianist Oscar Peterson wrote his next offering, titled simply Blues for Big Scotia. That was Blues for Big Scotia, composed by Oscar Peterson and played here by his trio. String bassist Ray Brown, for many years the constant rhythm man for Oscar Peterson, is a star in his own right. He came to the attention of many jazz followers during his time spent playing with the bands and small groups led by trumpeter Dizzy Gillespie, and on the very same Jazz at the Philharmonic tours where he was teamed with Oscar Peterson. In a trio, each instrument is vitally important, and a string bassist in such a group must be an extremely capable musician, and Ray Brown is just that. Drummer Ed Thigpen is the most recent member of the trio, having accompanied pianist Billy Taylor prior to joining Oscar Peterson. His playing herein bodes well for his future in jazz. Finale time now for the Oscar Peterson Trio with what you might term a tone poem version of Autumn Leaves. That was Autumn Leaves, played for you by the Oscar Peterson Trio, with Oscar at the piano, Ray Brown on string bass, and drummer Ed Thigpen. This has been another program in the series Jazz from Canada, prepared by the International Service of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. This is Bert Adkins speaking. The International Service of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, through its transcription facilities, presents Jazz from Canada, and today's edition, the Oscar Peterson Trio. That was a swinging version of Sweet Georgia Brown, played by the Oscar Peterson Trio, with Oscar Peterson on piano, Ray Brown on string bass, and drummer Ed Thigpen, one of the world's foremost jazz groups. This is Bert Adkins speaking, but much of what is to follow speaks for itself, and the case in point, the Peterson Threesomes version of How About You? Gentlemen, you're on. How About You, done in contemporary fashion by the Oscar Peterson Trio. Oscar was born in Montreal in August 1925, and, but for a bout with tuberculosis in his childhood years, might have turned into a trumpet player instead of a pianist. Doctor's advice caused him to switch instruments, and he took it from there. During his teens and early 20s, he was playing with the Johnny Holmes Orchestra in Montreal, and on many CBC radio broadcasts as well. An invitation from impresario Norman Granz brought him to New York City in 1949 to perform at a Carnegie Hall concert of the Jazz at the Philharmonic troupe. Since then, he's traveled around the world. George Gershwin's Porgy and Bess is the origin of Oscar Peterson's next rhythm offering, I Got Plenty of Nothing. That was George Gershwin's I Got Plenty of Nothing. Oscar Peterson, Ray Brown, and Ed Thigpen team up for a personalized interpretation of jazz composer-pianist Horace Silver's Cookin' at the Continental. That was Cookin' at the Continental, played by the Oscar Peterson Trio, the featured performers on this edition of Jazz from Canada, prepared by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's International Service. This is Bert Adkins speaking.